Hey everybody, for Love and Hip Hop Season 3, Episode 10. Let's get into it. So it starts off with Nikki and Rosa, and Nikki is like, she's had a lot of time to reflect and think about everything that's going on, and she wants to right the wrongs with with Safari and Rosa. First she meets up with Rosa, and she apologizes for misleading Rosa. Rosa says she felt betrayed because they were friends before anything else. And Nikki is like, well, I put up a guard because I'm hurt by my brother's death. I never really dealt with it. So Rosa is like, well, I'm your friend. If you felt any way, you should have spoke to me about it before leading me on. She's like, yeah, well, I did lie to you. I apologize and I will never do it again. So Rosa is like, listen, we could start over. We could be friends again and we could rebuild trust. And, Nikki is like, I'm all for it. I will never lie to you again. Rosa's like, okay, I'll take your word for it. So we get to Max, Ray, Brandy, and Princess. They're doing a studio session with Max rapping. Max doesn't sound half bad rapping. And Brandy invited Jason Lee as a surprise to let them know about the whole thing that's going on with Moniece and her shenanigans. So they want to expose her. So, Max is like, well, you must have found a skeleton in her closet. He said, listen, I found a whole cemetery. So he shows the footage of the sex tape. And they're like, is that Moniece? He was like, yep, that's Moniece. Face down, ass up. And she's like, oh, she has a hairy butthole. I'm like, ew. And Ray J is sitting here, he's looking, he's like, I'm not with it. So he gets up and he's left. He's like, I don't want Princess mixed up in this mess either. So Jason is like, I don't understand why Ray J is even, making a big deal about this tape. I mean, hello, Kim Kardashian. I'm like, right, Jason got you there, Ray J. You do have a sex tape out too. So Max is like, I don't really feel right watching this tape, and Fizz is my boy. I gotta let Fizz know everything that's going on. Brandy is like, listen, I just want to confront Moniece with her dirt because Moniece thinks that she's exempt from any and everything. So now we get to A1 and Safari, and they're drinking tea, and Safari is like, his tea need more sugar. I'm like, dang, Pam can't make nothing. She can't make ramen noodles right. She can't make tea right. Just terrible. So they're out. Pam is outside in the front, I guess like gardening or something, and a tow truck arrives coming to tow A1's car. So he's like, why? What are you doing? Like, why are you trying to tow my car? And he's like, who had it towed? He's like, Lyrica Garrett. What's her name? Garrett, whatever. So he's like, oh, see, I see what she's doing. She's being petty. I had credit issues in the back in the day, so we put the car in her name, and now she's gonna be petty and get it towed. So Lyrica G pulls up, and she doesn't care. She's like, tow the car. So she's like, I hope this is a lesson for him to learn. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. So Safari's climbing on the truck trying to stop the tow truck from taking the car. Pam is calling Lyrica out like, yo, you trying to get money from my son and you're mad because he won't give you money. So they're going back and forth. A1 gets in Lyrica's car and drives off, and he's like, F you, see if you get your car back. She's like, all right, I'm gonna call the police. The tow truck still took his car. I'm like, oh my goodness. So now we get to Ray, Princess, and Diane. Their wedding planning. And they have ideas of what they want to do for the wedding and whatnot. Now, mind you, the wedding is not far away. Like, they have like limited amount of time to get everything together. So Miss Sonia arrives wanting to make changes and asking questions. And now all of a sudden Ray J wants to do Coming to America. And Princess is annoyed because she's like, we can't do these last minute changes when the wedding is right around the corner. So she's getting annoyed, and she's feeling like a lot of the changes he wants to make is influenced by his mother and how she feels about the wedding. And I'm like, that is a very tough place to be, because it's your wedding, but you're feeling like it's not your wedding because everybody else in their input is influencing Ray, which is understandable. So now we get to Lyrica and A1 and their mom. They let Lyrica know that her mom towed the car. And Pam is like, listen, I love you as my daughter, and I think you're a beautiful girl. I have nothing against you, but I wish you had a better mom. And I really see that Lyrica G rubs off on you. So, you know, Lyrica took offense to that, and she's like, you're not going to talk about my mom. My mom has been there for me. You know, I love my mom. And she's like, yeah, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to love your mom. I'm just saying your mother is like very, like, she influences you heavy or whatever. So they're throwing shots at each other. And she's like, she said something about Lyrica's, no, she said something about Lyrica mother's lips. And she's like, and you got a big ass nose and da 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 da. So Pam is like, you know what? She's a spoiled bitch or whatever. And Lyrica is just sick of A1 and both of their mothers arguing. And A1 is just completely tired of the drama. I, for one, honestly feel like Lyrica's mother, I feel like, and you know what? I kind of see that it seemed like they were trying to make it seem like Pam is the ignorant one when she's not. Each and every time Pam wanted to try and make things work with Lyrica G always has something slick out her mouth to say to Pam. And it's like Pam is misunderstood. Lyrica G is always in her feelings and always acting out like a spoiled kid that has a tantrum. And Lyrica doesn't see that. And it's like she needs to put her mother in her place too. It kind of seems like she's afraid to. So now we get to Ray and his mother. And Sonia, you know, is saying how she's been married for 41 years and how it hasn't been an easy journey. She's very worried about their relationship because when things get rocky, it's always like craziness going on with the two of them. So Ray is reassuring her that he knows what he's doing. He wants to get married. And Sonia is like, she wants them to wait a while because she feels like they're not ready. So she doesn't agree with them getting married. And just before, just after she says that, Princess comes in. So Princess feels offended because Sonia told her, you know, I don't think you guys are ready to get married. She feels offended by Sonia, and she's worried that Sonia is influencing Ray's thoughts and maybe giving him cold feet for the wedding. So now we get to Safari and Nikki, and she admits that she wasn't honest with him. She wants to start over. And, you know, Safari is like, well, I want a future with you. You know, I want to have kids. I want to get married. And I want a small dog. I want to name him Badman. I'm like, Safari, you're annoying. So he's like, you know, she's trying to apologize and let him know what she's going through and how everything that's been affecting her has to do with her brother's death or whatever. So he's sitting here like, you know, I want to rub coconut oil on you. And Nikki is like, okay, well, I mean, we'll see what happens, like, if I feel up to it. So, you know, he's like, well, listen, we could start over with each other and we could make it better. You know, I won't be involved with anybody else. I'm all in with you, and I don't want you to be involved with nobody else, including Rosa. And she's like, well, you know, Rosa is my friend. He said, that's cool. I'm not going to take that friendship away from y'all. But I mean romantically. She's like, nah, Rosa's just going to be my friend from now on, and, you know, that's what it's going to be. So, you know, she's like, I'm not really sure about the future. You know, right now I'm just all about my business and living my life. But Safari is a sweet guy, and I'd be stupid to let him go or whatever. I wouldn't find anybody sweeter than him. So she wants to give it a try. He walks her out. They agree to start over. So now we get to Brandy and Max, and they're having a MS charity event for Brandy's sister. And Fizz comes by. So Max knows about the sex tape, and he knows that it's wrong, and he wants to just dead it before it gets worse. So he talks to Fizz about the beef between Moniece and Brandy, and it, you know, admits that, I'm sorry, my eyes are burning. It was an insect burning in here. He talks to Fizz about Moniece and Brandy and their beef. And then he lets Fizz know, you know, there's a sex tape going around with Moniece, and before it leaks or whatever, I just want you to know about it. So Fizz is getting frustrated because he's tired of everything, you know, that's going on with Moniece having to come back to him. And he's tired of Moniece, you know, doing stuff without thinking about the fact that, you know, I have a son. He's just tired of cleaning up her mess. So Max is like, well, I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know, Jason Lee says he has the tape, so you might want to talk to him, you know. And Fizz is like, yeah, I got his number. I'll call him and find out what's going on. So now we get to Moniece and Fizz, and he's like, yo, I want you to stop, you know, I just want you to know that there's a sex tape going around. Somebody says they have a sex tape of you or whatever, and Jason Lee is the one that has it. And he's like, I don't even know why y'all are beefing. She's like, yeah, I don't know why Jason Lee is coming for me either. And she's like, you know what, I feel like Brandy is stooping low. Now you stooping low. Like, you know, we could be messy, but you taking it to a whole other level. So she's like, well, I'll talk to Jason and I'll find out, you know, who filmed me, because I don't even remember being filmed. I don't remember anything. So, now we get to Ray and Princess, and Princess is just overwhelmed or whatever, and, you know, he's shooting his video. So she's overwhelmed watching him do the video or whatever, and he's wondering why she's so upset with him. And she's like, I don't feel like you're taking anything serious. You know, I come here and it's like, you doing this, do you want to be married or do you want to be turned up or whatever? So I kind of feel like Princess was wrong for coming at Ray how she did at his video shoot, because she's angry with his mom. It's like misplaced anger. So she was throwing shots at him and whatnot in his video, saying that, you know, the video was corny, nobody's gonna watch it or whatever. And then as she was leaving, he was like, see, you don't believe in me. And she was like, well, find a chick better than me, then we'll talk. And then she left. So the next day she goes and meets him, I think at one of his stores or something, and he didn't come home at all or call. So he's like, you know, I don't want to be controlled creatively. Like, you're messing with my creativity. I give you everything you want and you still complain. And, you know, she's like, well, I feel like you getting cold feet. I feel like you don't even want to get married anymore. And, you know, she's like, be yourself. He said, I'm about to be in a minute, basically, you know, being turned up Ray J. So now we get to Jason Lee and Fizz, and Jason Lee is like, you know, I have respect for Fizz, so I'll meet up with him or whatever. So Fizz is like, well, what's the problem between you and Moniece? He said, I don't have a problem with Moniece, but I did want to send a clear message to Moniece not to play victim when she attacks everyone. So Moniece arrives and she's like, listen, I have my attorney taking legal matters as far as the sex tape goes. If anybody releases it, they'll be sued, including Jason Lee. So Jason is like, you know, she's asking who has the tape, and he's like, I'm not gonna tell who the person is because I know my rights or whatever. So he's like, I don't feel wrong in doing my job. Me and my writers, we all have receipts on everybody. So if we want to leak it, we'll leak it when we want to leak it. But until then, we won't do anything because you know, that's not what we do. So Moniece is like, listen, I'll find out who it is through my lawyer. So Fizz is like, well, do you know the person who it is? He's like, yeah. He said, well, who is it? He's a rapper. Oh, is he a known rapper? So Jason Lee is like, I'm like, I take that as a no. And that's where it ended. So you guys let me know how you felt about this episode. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.